Today we're talking about one of the hottest opportunities on the stock market in 2020, and it's to do with one of the commodities that is in massive demand right now. How's it going, guys? Ryan here with another video, and today I want to talk to you about what I believe is one of the best opportunities for introductory investors in 2020, why it's got so much upside and why it's actually relatively safe compared to a lot of other smaller investments. But before we get into that, please remember to like and subscribe. Helps me out so much, guys. And if you've got any comments, queries, or questions with regards to this video, just leave them down in the comments section below. So let's get straight into it. Now, what do I believe is the best opportunity in 2020 at this stage? And it's one I'm guessing a lot of you have probably already picked. If you follow my Twitter, you'll know I've been raving about it quite a bit, and that is gold. And not in particular gold as a sector, but looking at the smaller cap gold companies which are in an explorer phase. So first, let me just explain to you the current gold situation as a commodity in general. Now, the first thing you'll notice is obviously gold is in high demand right now, and you can see that purely from looking at the gold price. It's actually sitting at about 1,730 odd US dollars at the moment, and the all-time high for gold is in the upper region of the 1,800 area. Now, this is really relevant because it wasn't at these sort of heights until after the last financial crisis. And as a result of that, we are potentially seeing, due to coronavirus currently going on right now, a potential for it to exceed all-time gold price highs. If that were to occur, we'd effectively see a massive jump in the gold price immediately. And that is fantastic for gold as a commodity, but it is also fantastic for people who hold gold stocks in particular. The next thing you need to look at is, where is this demand actually going to come from? And if you know why people invest in gold, it's effectively because it's a security. It's relatively safe, it's relatively stable. When the prices of currencies and whatnot are going down, when there's turmoil in the world, when there's wars, when there is things occurring such as COVID-19, people invest in gold because it has traditionally been a safe investment. And as a result of what's currently going on and what looks like could go on for quite some time, and we're taking into consideration not just COVID-19, but also the situation in the US when it comes to the current economic state, as well as the current China-US trade deals and the global economy overall, we're seeing a lot of interest in gold as a commodity because that is where people are looking to put their money because they believe it is safe. As a result of this will naturally occur by effectively increasing the stock price. So demand's naturally occurring is what I'm trying to say. You're naturally getting people buying gold because they believe it's a safe investment, and as a result, the gold price is going to rise over time. Now, gold as a commodity is great, but you're not going to get huge returns. Where I'm putting my focus is gold stocks, and not just all gold stocks. If you take a look at the larger gold producers, they've had a relatively good run, and that's sort of across the market. And the beauty about the gold stocks that are already producing is, if the gold price increases, these gold mines start making more and more money. But this is not the region where I believe you can make the best bang for your buck. In fact, I believe the best area to look at is the gold explorers, which have solid fundamentals, large resource sizes, and decent grades. So that is the region I'm focusing on, because effectively what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to research companies which are currently at a relatively low market cap and you're able to get in early, and if they do have a good resource, that is absolutely the key to this. If they have a good resource and you can see that maybe in 2 to 3 years time they could be producing, that is a fantastic opportunity for investors to get in at the early stages, as we are likely to see the gold price keep creeping up over time. And the beauty of this is these gold companies, due to the demand for gold increasing, it becomes a lot easier to get investors involved. So we're talking institutional investors, we're talking banks willing to give loans, lenders and all those sorts of people, and just your general retail investors taking a bit of interest. So if you can get in early to a gold stock which has potentially a very bright future ahead of them, then you're really getting ahead of the ball game. The demand's naturally going to roll in over time, and as a result you're going to make a really good return because you've managed to get in early. Now you can really go two ways about this. For the traders out there, you can jump between all the gold stocks, look for the announcements that are currently going on, and you can trade, you can take advantage of this sector. It's a fantastic sector to focus on because a lot of the news that's coming out is good just from a global point of view, as well as with a lot of focus being on gold. There's a lot of I suppose interest and as a result focus from companies when it comes to securing decent gold resources in areas of the world. Now, if you're an investor, it's also really beneficial for you to get in because you can get in early, as I said before, and if you're holding long term, we're talking 2 to 3 years, maybe even longer than that. I suppose it depends on what your, I suppose, take on as long term is, but for me, I'm talking 2 to 3 years at a minimum. If you're getting in early, you're potentially setting yourself up to make a lot of money. So let's say the gold price right now, for instance, is $1,720 US roughly. And we get into a gold stock now at a low price, we're talking maybe a few cents. And we get in now, market cap's probably under $100 million, and we've bought X amount of stock. When that company is producing, from what is happening at the moment when it comes to demand for gold, we're likely to see locked in offtake agreements and those sort of arrangements in place by the time that the company is in production. And as a result, hopefully they'd be locked in at decent prices. And not only that, the price is likely to have increased with gold going forward, just purely due to the uncertainty with regards to the global economy and the world with the COVID-19 situation at the moment. So what you're potentially setting yourself up is for some really good returns and potentially multi-bags when it comes to getting into a company early and looking at a longer term investment. And for those of you out there who want to continue holding once the company is in production, you want to look for those companies which have little, I suppose, cost to set up, little capital requirements to set up the production, and hopefully, if possible, little to no debt when they're setting up these mines. So as soon as they start producing, they're making profits immediately, and there's a very short, I suppose, payback period for the project getting set up versus the production costs. And if you can eventually exceed this point, you may be lucky enough to be in the position to have acquired quite a lot of shares at a cheap price a few years back, and now they're in production, they've paid the project back, and now everything they're making is purely a profit, and you'll start to see dividends come from something like that. And that is an absolutely fantastic way for new investors to really just get involved in the stock market. They can see the, I suppose, minerals sector go from the startup of a company all the way through to the production and mine life of a company situation, and see the ups and downs, the life cycle, as well as reap the rewards all the way through in the longer term, as you will have received multiple bags on your initial investment in the first place, but now you're also receiving a dividend payout potentially in the future. And obviously this is likely something to be that is 3 to 5 years in the future from the initial investment, but it's a great way to get yourself set up and have that base stock in place. So I highly encourage anyone who's looking to get into the stock market at the moment to give gold stocks, in particular Gold Explorers, a good look at right now. Just be careful, as I said, you need to really be focusing on size of the resource, grades, management team in place. You need the fundamentals to be there, as with any long-term investment, to make sure that it is successful. Let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts are on the gold situation in 2020 and beyond, and if you agree with what I'm saying in this video. If you enjoyed this video as well, please give me a thumbs up, helps me out so much, and subscribe for more content. And with that guys, I hope you have an awesome day. See you next time.